Hi, I'm Michael Clifton, percussion performer and instructor. A lot of you guys have been wondering about how to change your drum heads on your snare drums, so today we're going to talk about the first step, taking an old drum and changing the batter head, which is the top side of the snare drum, versus the snare side, which is the bottom head. In this video, we're going to demonstrate the items you need and the correct processes for changing the battery side of the snare drum head. First of all, let's talk about a few of the items you'll need. You'll need to get a standardized drum key that fits most percussion tuning lugs. Also, you're going to get lubricant such as white lithium grease, which is an all-purpose grease that works for indoors and outdoors. Or if you're just for an in-studio purpose, such as we'll be doing today, you can use machine oil. Also, you'll need to get the proper size drum heads, which you can measure from each side of the drum heads. Typically on a snare drum, it'll be 13 inches to 14 inches. Okay. After you've made sure that you have the materials you're going to need for changing your drum head, let's talk about the steps that we're going to do. Take your standardized key, and we're going to loosen the tension lugs on the snare drum. Now remember, you don't want to just come in here and start loosening all the lugs all the way. Pick a lug, start on it, take a couple turns and loosen it up a little bit. Now the important process is to remember, you start on a lug, go directly across to the next lug. Unloosen it a little bit. Go to an adjacent lug right next to it and do the same process. You want to make sure that you go across and over one to ensure that you don't warp the brim as you're taking it, or the drum shell as you're taking the tension lugs off. Usually once you get them loose enough, you can start doing it with your fingers. Make sure that all the lugs are completely out of the tuning cases. And all you want to do is simply lift the rim up. Now, you just want to lift the old snare drum head off. You can see this is an old one. We'll throw it away. You want to clean out your snare drum. Now, always take a paper towel and wipe the outer edge. Make sure everything's clean. After you've cleaned your drum head, you can take the lugs. You want to make sure you get just a little bit on the tip of it. And what this does by greasing the lugs is to ensure that after you've tightened them back down in the casing, that they don't get wear and threaded out within the casings, which could cause a lot of damage, and then it's just extraneous repair that you don't want to have. After you've greased all your lugs, it's time to put the drum head on. Before you put it on, it's good to what we call crimp the outside edges, such as this. That way when you put it on and apply tension to the head, it doesn't pull out from the outer edge. Now we're ready to put the drum head on. All right, after we've placed the drum head on there, we're going to get our rim with our lugs. It's always good to place the rim back kind of where it was previously. Apply it on there. Make sure that the rim is even with the outside of the drum head. In this step, we're going to start finger tightening the tension rods. And by finger tighten, I mean you take your fingers and tighten it all the way down, usually to where the tension rod starts touching the rim. After you guys have finger tightened your lugs, it's time to tune your snare drum up. We're going to use the same across and then adjacent method that we did when taking the drum head off. Notice that I'll only give it a slight 1 or 2 turns while tuning it up. I'll go to the adjacent lug, then I'll go across. A lot of people during this process will put too much tension on the lugs and then not tune them evenly, and it'll cause them to get some bad sounds. You'll notice is that when you tune your drum head up, the drum head will pop a little bit. That's just the glue breaking up due to the tension. After you've gotten your drum head tightened up a couple turns on each lug and gone around it once or twice, you'll want to start listening to each lug. And this is just a process of actually tuning the drum back up. I'll listen to one lug, and then I'll come across and listen to see if the next one is higher or lower. it's a little lower. Once I've gotten them pretty much even, I'll do the last round of tightening up. Get it to the desired tension that you want. And voila, there you have it. We've changed the top batter head on your drum set or concert snare drum.